Well, hello, welcome to I Love Gay today. And we are with two guys that I don't even feel need an introduction, but we're with Jeff Parshley and Adam Bouska. How are you two?
We're great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
off.
absolutely. But for those that don't know, they created the No Hate campaign. And I think we've all seen this because who hasn't been photographed by you two for this campaign?
Oh my gosh. Well, the campaign started in 2008 in
Yeah.
Adam and I's living room. And so it really started with just our friends, and it gradually grew to their friends and then their friends. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then finally, once we had celebrities start speaking out, I mean, we've been photographed. Been photographing for the last 14 years.
Yeah, gosh, it's crazy to think it's been that long already. We've got over 60,000 photos representing over 100,000 faces from 23 different countries. But in many ways, it feels like we're just getting started.
Yeah.
We started in response to Proposition 8, but today it's just so relevant. And we just got to keep that message alive. It's just so relevant these days.
Yeah. I think most folks that do like what you do would have done it for a while, and and it would have been kind of a part of their career, and then and then done other things. But you guys like were really true to form, and it's excellent branding. Is that you just stayed with it, and you even have a photo shoot scheduled for this month and so forth.
Yeah, we were actually pretty adamant about just not stopping if people were coming,
Yeah.
and people were always coming, and we saw it as a tool, because Adam and I weren't activists when the campaign started. It just kind of started with the photo.
Yeah.
And so we kind of hope that when we go into other cities and small towns, that we can spark activism there with their first photo. So we just keep setting up, and people keep coming and using the No Hate photos as a tool to speak out.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how much it has grown.
Yeah, it really wouldn't be what it is without the community support keeping it alive. But the story of No Hate is the fact that it's a success story. We overcame Proposition 8. So that's because we don't want history to repeat itself. And we see this happening to other communities in many different ways. So we want to tell our stories and encourage everyone to share theirs. And that inspires us to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were times in like 2012, 2013 where people were like, well, marriage equality is the land of the law. Like, why are you guys still doing photo shoots? And we had to explain to them that it's not something that ends, it's something that has to continue, because even to this day, so many years later, a decade later, we're still talking about the potential of losing marriage equality in states and losing trans rights in certain states and losing, like, it's all under attack still. So the message of No Hate will always be something that needs to be spoken out against.
Yeah. Well, and this part here, correct me if I'm wrong. Was it AT&T you worked with a few years ago on a photo shoot, or what? Yeah, it was. Because because what I find is interesting is that as social media has evolved over the last few years, of course, imagery is now so important that, and especially Instagram, and you guys became a part of that, but because corporations were starting to realize that, wow, during Pride, we could actually kind of leverage social media and folks. And I remembered the campaign where there was this whole, I think it was folks that work for AT&T, and you
so
recorded them.
the AT&T employee resource, the Pride Resource Group, they reached out to us, and they offered for us to set up in all of their headquarters around the country. And they paid for all the people to come, all the employees to come down and do No Hate photos. And all they asked is that come take a No Hate photo, and let me explain to you what the Pride Resource Group is, and maybe potentially would you mind joining it? So they kind of use the No Hate campaign as a tool, but we've also worked with people like Nissan, who have set up and just given away No Hate photos at Pride.
Yeah.
We have a collaboration with the Westfield Mall coming up in June in San Francisco, where the first 100 people at our San Francisco photo shoot, which we actually haven't even announced yet, we're about to announce today, will get a free photo courtesy of Westfield. So they're trying to get their community involved, and they see the No Hate campaign as a way to do that.
Yeah, corporations represent people too, and it's a great way for their staff to put their face in as a part of the action when they take photos. K-Swiss also is a part, and they did the same thing. AT&T employees took part, so it's a great way to represent and show who supports this cause, but it's a great way to also give back when they allow people to take free photos. It's just such a great way to get people involved. especially what's going on in specific states when they are trying to pass legislation for Don't Say Gay, and they try to limit how we can talk about our identities. So it's really important, visibility and discussion. It's important to create these conversations.
I think it's interesting though, like the way I see it, coming from like this media background from, online website stuff and so forth, that used to be my world once upon a time. But so a company like in today's world, they come to you, but a lot of times they'll go to an influencer and say, hey, we want to work with you to kind of help amplify our message, or they'll go to a media company and do that. But and especially when it comes to not only having a great social media reach, but knowing how to really do it, they came to you. And I think that it's important to kind of point out in that world of media, you guys are an incredibly strong player in that. I don't know if you even think about that as much as I do when I see you from the outside looking in. I mean, you guys have a powerful voice, whether it's Twitter and Facebook and so forth.
Well, I think that the campaign, first of all, was born on social media. The reason we took the first No Hate photo was for a MySpace photo so that we could have a profile photo to speak out against Proposition 8. Yeah. But I think that we've also understood the power of social media and what it can do. And we are so grassroots that the following that we have is an authentic, supportive, vocal following. And I think the brands see that it's not just a number that showed up there one day. It's something that we've grown to be what it is, and it's authentic. And we're still grassroots to this day. Adam and I are still the only two people that are sometimes at the photo shoots in some of these small cities. And it's gonna always be like that if people are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of great celebrity support, but it really wouldn't be what it was without everyday people coming in to support this campaign. And that's what we really owe its growth to. I mean, social media is great, but social media comes from the social aspect and people getting involved, putting their face at this cause, uploading it as their social media profile photo, and starting those conversations. So we really owe it to them for creating this.
Yeah, no, well put. I mean, I think you guys look at it that it's a collaborative, it's a two-way street. These are real people on the other side of that phone or the computer. And I think that's one of the big secrets of the magic of what makes those things work.
Yeah, we try to always remind people that no matter who you are, you have influence. If you're Miley Cyrus, you have a lot of influence. Yeah. If you're me, you have a little bit of influence, but everybody has influence over their inner circle and the people that are surrounding them. So if it takes you posting a photo with tape over your mouth to create a dialogue to potentially influence somebody that is just not even aware that there's a decision to be made, like, we hope that can start the conversation, and we've seen that it is doing that. So it's important to us to keep going.
Yeah, we never take our voices for granted, and for us, we're just thankful to be in this position to where we can continue to do this 14 years in. So we get to do what we love, and we get to add an important message to it. So we're just going to keep that message alive.
And I think it's important to remind everybody, like, obviously the campaign is an events driven organization. So for the last 2 years, it was extremely difficult for the campaign not being able to do that. So we are starting to get back on the road. We were just on a small 10-city tour in the South, over to Atlanta, and then back through like Texas and stuff. And we have a lot of stuff coming up that we're planning. And just because it was slow for 2 years, it doesn't mean that it won't be back to, what it has always been. And it's about bringing people together in these communities and showing like-minded people that there's people around you that support you.
Yeah. I saw you're going to be in San Luis Obispo, and I used to live near there once upon a time, and I still know some folks. So I'm gonna recommend that they put that on their calendar and become part of the photo shoot as well.
Yeah, that's how we spread the word. That's how it works.
Yeah, we're working with the Gallup Pride Center there, so they reached out to us, and it's important for us if we are going to go anywhere to go to places like that to bring people through their doors and to show this is what you have in your neighborhood. So if you didn't know, now you know. And if you're a volunteer for us, maybe you will now consider coming and volunteering for the center here. Or if you're a supporter of ours, we hope you support the center. So it's stuff like that.
Anything, any parting words of exciting things you guys are working on this year that you'd like to share?
Well, I mean, just for getting back on the road, we think that is exciting for us because that is a big part of what we do.
Yeah, and given I think the quarantines in the past few months, we're looking forward to an upcoming Pride season, to where I guess a lot of those restrictions have been limited. So there's going to be a lot of events going on. So we hope to have a few events of our own going on. So we look forward to that.
We're also kind of developing a program with the W hotels, a speaking series. It's called Activate Against Hate. And so that will be something that we'll do the first one later this year and try to implement that throughout next year at more of the hotels. And it's going to be like a panel where we can have create a dialogue with the community and then provide photos for them afterwards and kind of bring it together more than just what we would do in a No Hate tour. So we're kind of developing that, and we're working on other ways to reach out and to evolve the campaign and kind of get used to the times that we're living in, but still be able to stay relevant with everybody.
Yeah. Well, I think this is exciting. I'm going to be in LA a lot this summer, and so I look forward to hopefully our paths can connect. And I'd love to reconnect with you both, because it's been. I forgot to mention, I did one of your first photo shoots as myself, George, Sean, Fabrice. We were all there at that. I have to look in my archives and pull that photo out.
It's time for an updated photo. We know that. So if you're going to be in LA, we'll have to make that happen.
Definitely. Yeah,
now that I got some gray.
Up actually on April 29th, Friday, April 29th in Burbank from 6 to 9. So
yeah, it's one of our first in a while here in LA. So it's a great restart to our events.
Yeah. But our website and our Facebook page, NOHateCampaign.com, and our Facebook page is No Hate Campaign. We put all the events there. So we're going to be adding a lot more this year as we start to do. We're going to do 2 more tours this year. So people can keep an eye out for that. And you'll come out and support and put their face in the fight.
I'm going to make sure we'll be posting some of the social and everything. Well, thanks for being here with you guys. Sharing a bit of your story with us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for helping us spread the message.
Absolutely. Good seeing you.
See you, Matt.